227, if I'm not wrong, radio stations. 172 stations, 55 community radio stations. And I believe we have actually evolved in terms of entertainment, in terms of news, in terms of how content is being created. And I feel, yes, we are not 100% where we need to be, but we are there. We are there. We're not 100% there, but we are there. Now, what do I mean? It's because in 1963, we started with the Voice of Kenya, that was previously called the Kenya Broadcasting Service, KBS. And then later on in 1989, it evolved back to Voice of Kenya. And then by that time, it was just one media house. That was the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. Right now, we are talking about 227 media houses. It means people have come up with ways of doing things differently. Kitambo, ungesikia Ngulamu Mwaviro akianza, Rais Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi amesema. But right now, some media houses start with sports, others start with the celebrities, have done this and that, and then the president's message comes later. The way entertainment is done, Kitambo, it used to be Rungu ya Nyayo. Squeezy, we have the likes of Kina Nadia Mukami, Kina Roboy, the likes of I don't know who. They're coming on board and just bringing the entertainment vibes right, left, and center. So I believe we have evolved, and we are still evolving. National media houses here, and most of them do not have even a panel or a committee that has been set aside to actually handle sexual harassment in media houses. So sometimes we find ourselves in thick and thin lines, not knowing where exactly to report. And I feel that is the reason why most media students drop. So sometimes we succumb to sexual violence, sexual harassment, just because one, we do not know the channel to report, and secondly, we have not been provided the channel to report. So in most cases, hizo kesi was inadai to be put under bus, and people just go scot-free just because someone is holding an office, someone is sitting on a chair that I cannot fit or sit at that particular moment. So basically, I feel, one, we have failed as media houses because we do not have mentors, real mentors. You can have a good mentor, but with no voice. It's one thing to have a mentor, and it's another thing to have a mentor who has voice when it comes to sexual harassment, especially in women. Female journalists are actually going through hell. I've heard people saying traditional media is dying. Inakufa inaenda. I mean, I think every media or every group of people, every age group has its own way of consuming information. Right now, we are talking about Gen Z. I am a millennial. I have my own way. I still believe in newspapers, by the way. I still believe in radio. My grandmother still believes radio imesema kutanyesha, and that is just it. So by saying traditional media is dying, I think it is not right. I've had perceptions, people saying radio inadai, TV inadai, magazines ni ya kufunga nyama. We still have people who are reading. I read a lot, and I feel traditional media is here to stay. Just that we have to accommodate the Gen Z. How do we do that? Is to actually understand how technology works at the moment. Right now, we have TikTok that is the fastest growing in the world. As we speak right now, I think it's TikTok that is leading, if not YouTube. It's TikTok, right? Yes. Fine. I believe by understanding how TikTok is working, media houses can actually embrace ways of doing things. You're right. Radio has power to actually unveil corruption, but it also depends on who owns the radio. True, the radio has a platform to actually unveil corruption in our country and in other countries, but the problem is, how safe is the journalist who is going to do that? But then the question should be, even as we are going to celebrate World Radio Day, really, are we safe as radio journalists to actually talk about corruption in Kenya? Are we ready for the conversation of corruption? Do so many things, and bottom line, what I have realized is, be you, do you.